Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Golf Ball YouTube channel. My name is Jackson. Today we're going to be talking about LIV event in Portland, round 1 recap. I'm very pissed off. Pissed off is the wrong word. I'm very not satisfied. If you guys have been watching this channel, if you've been listening to the podcast the last month or so, I've been saying that the first event in London was probably going to be a little boring. It was probably going to be pretty, not amateurish, but pretty raw. There's definitely going to be some kinks that they are working on all season. And the first event wasn't too bad. This round 1, and like I said, I'm keeping an open mind about this whole LIV thing. I can see both sides. I can see why one would hate LIV. I can see why one would love LIV. Live, laugh, love. I can understand both sides very easily. I want to see good golf. I want to see good, competitive, high-level golf. There just wasn't much today. You know, there just wasn't much. And maybe it'll get more entertaining on Saturday in the final round. But, you know, Matthew Wolff didn't do anything for me. Bryson didn't do anything for me. Brooks didn't do anything for me. You know, DJ played well. All the new guys that I was anticipating would kind of make this second event much more watchable. It was just golf at the end of the day, but it was, I think a lot of my reasoning for not really enjoying today's broadcast was I think they need to figure something out with the broadcasters. You know, I know they're going to be making tweaks. And, you know, once you start getting into kind of the fundamentals, the basics as far as LIV goes, which is extremely hypocritical, by the way, because the PGA Tour in China, like, just, I'm not even going to get into it. But anyways, there were people flaming even just the broadcasters going to LIV, obviously the players going to LIV. I was hoping that this week the announcers would be entertaining. Because the first broadcast, it didn't really seem like they watched golf. It didn't really seem like they understood just like basic shit in golf. Like, that was the vibe I got in London, was especially like that first day, somebody would say, oh, it's like headed right at the flag stick, and it'd be like 15 yards left bunker. Like, it's like, whoa, it's not really headed right at the pin. It's nowhere near the pin, actually. So I'm like, all right, they're going to work out these kinks. They got some big names, and you know, there was some shade being thrown head into the broadcaster world heading into today, and I just don't think that they did a good job. I felt like a lot of it was forced overhype. I mean, right out of the get-go, like a few minutes into the broadcast, you heard like, oh, the merchandise tent's about to sell out, blah blah blah. Well, it just all felt forced. It felt very, very forced. And I put up a poll on Golf Ball today, and it said, you know, thoughts on LIV. And somebody, first off, everybody was like, boring, not my cup of tea, disappointed, blah, blah, blah. There were maybe, I put this up on the story like an hour ago. I got maybe a couple hundred responses. There's maybe 5 people that enjoyed today. Like maybe 5 people that were like, free golf. And as a recent college graduate, I can kind of agree with that free golf concept, because now I'm living at home. I'm living in my mom's basement, and I have access to cable TV. I don't have a golf channel, but I can watch these final events. I can watch Saturday, I can watch Sunday at the Memorial or what have you. Whatever event's going to be on, I can watch it finally now that I have access to cable TV. So I can get that standpoint. But there was like, yeah, man, there was like 5-10 people at the most that was like, free golf, what's there to complain about? It didn't do it for me. It just didn't do it for me. Carlos Ortiz currently leads, and like I said, hopefully Saturday gets a little bit better. That's the final round. The team event structure still makes no sense to me. I do a podcast every single week. I make YouTube videos every single day. I watch LIV. And I couldn't tell you every single thing about the team event. I couldn't tell you everything about team events. I couldn't tell you. I feel like they don't do a good job at explaining it. I think that even from what I know of the team events, they need to tweak them. I mean, they need to tweak them, not immediately, but next event, I would tweak these. You need to have, if this is just a glorified exhibition, right? It's going to get very old very fast. Random-ass dudes, or even just not random-ass dudes, and guys like Brooksy, DJ, competing for $3 million. As a viewer, I guarantee you it's going to get old. If you're enjoying LIV right now, I guarantee you at some point you're going to be like, this isn't doing much for me. I guarantee you. It's going to happen very soon. There's a lot of flaws. I still think they're going to make tweaks. But long term, money-wise, as a viewer, I'm just not incentivized. I'm just not incentivized to watch these events. And the way I think you need to make it incentivized is to really, really nail home the team events. I was listening to Bryson's press conference, and one of the first things he said a couple of days ago before his first event today was a big reason he joined LIV was because of the team events. And I think team events coming to golf, this is something Nick and I have talked about on our podcast when we were sophomores in college. We talked about this 4 years ago, adding team events to the PGA Tour. I don't know jack shit about these team events. I really just don't. And even if I did, I'd feel like you need to have all 4 players score matter, because if I'm just watching a glorified exhibition, but teams are supposed to be this big draw, what is the enjoyment from me watching the 4th worst, so like the worst player on a team of 4, shoot 78 round 1 and essentially just be done being involved in the team event for the duration of the event? Like, that doesn't make team events fun to me. It's like country versus, it's like, imagine a PGA Tour event. Imagine you're at the John Deere this week, or just a random PGA Tour event, a brand new PGA Tour event, and it's an event and it's individualized, so you want to come in first, but it's based on countries. But only the top 2 players in the leaderboard from each country eligible is a part of the team. I just don't see the logic behind that. I think you're only as good as your weakest link in life, companies, business, whatever the hell you're talking about in general. So if Sergio Garcia, Phil Mickelson's 5 over, but his score doesn't count, I don't give a shit. But if Phil Mickelson's +5 counts, and he's the weakest link, and he's completely shafting his teammates by playing like dog shit, that's more incentivizing to me. I just don't care about the top 2 dudes, because, like, then the 3rd and 4th guy can essentially go out and shoot 132 and still bring home a wheelbarrow of 132 grand in cash, or 128 grand in cash. I get you pay fees. I get you pay agent fees, blah, 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 travel fees. Don't give me the 120K isn't as steep as it seems. Shut the fuck up. Like, even if we're talking half that, 60K, imagine I put 60K in your bank account right now. I don't know. Like I said, if I didn't run golf ball, if I didn't have golf ball, I wouldn't give a single shit about LIV. I wouldn't. This golf is boring. And golf's pretty boring to watch. It makes you appreciate guys like Nick Faldo. It makes me even appreciate an idiot like Brandel Shamby, or whatever that dude's name is pronounced. Like, it makes me appreciate guys like that, because at least there's something there. I don't know if I think I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video. Somebody said this reminds me of the WWE in early days, so that's why there's hope, because WWE announcers aren't boring now. Wrestler announcers aren't boring now. UFC announcers aren't boring. It's the start. I really thought they'd be trending in the right direction after today, and personally, my opinion, I mean, I don't think they're trending in the right direction. I don't think it's like that big of a deal, because the money is still there, obviously, so people are going to continue to join and people are going to continue to play and not have an issue with it. If you're bringing in 120K shooting 302s, But longevity, again, this is something we've been talking about. Like, it's not looking great. It really isn't looking great. So, I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. This is such an interesting time in golf where, I mean, just one player, guys, could really change a lot. Rory McIlroy going to LIV. Imagine LIV. Tiger Woods accepts his $1 billion offer and joins LIV. I mean, just like that, golf's already been changed. But imagine Tiger Woods joins LIV, gets banned from the PGA Tour. Bam, just like that, golf is significantly, even more than it already has been, changed. So these are things to, you know, as new info comes in, as time goes by, as I start to experience watching these, as I learn more about them, you know, opinions can change. First off, when this first started, I loved the idea of LIV. I'm very pessimistic about it right now. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't really give a shit if it's a hot take, but this was boring. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated after every single round. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily golf videos, PGA Tour and LIV, and I'll see you guys later.